Peace. So today I had a thought about equality, which is a number 6, and I wanted to share that with you. So 6, or equality, is a composite of 2 and 4, or 24, which is wisdom culture. The 24th letter in our supreme alphabet is X, which represents the unknown in mathematics. So one of the things that I started to realize over time is when you think about equality as fairness, as sharing, as being equal, sometimes people are not willing and able to do it because they have a fear of the unknown. And that fear of the unknown is that sometimes people may not think that what they put out there is going to be reciprocated. They may not share because they may think, well, down the line, this person is going to share with me, so I'm just going to keep it to myself. And that is in relationships. A lot of times we may not be willing to share our feelings or to be vulnerable or to be open with others because we think that someone may trample on our feelings or our emotions, which is a possibility, right? We may not form business partnerships because we may think the other person or other people may take advantage of us. So we may not be willing to financially invest in an idea because of that. It could be educationally. It could be doing some volunteering or service work in your community and not taking initiative to do it or to involve others because you may think that you may end up doing all of the work. A lot of times people don't share, or they may not deal fairly with others because they're kind of holding their cards close to their chest and they think that others are not going to do equally in return. But that is the risk that we oftentimes are unwilling to take. But that is what is required for us to arrive at a sense of equilibrium and homeostasis and fairness and equity that we all desire to experience. When you just simply look at nature, you can see that nature is rooted within the law of reciprocity, that there is a give and take, and there is risks that are taken and a sense of vulnerability and openness. A lot of times as human beings, we may not be willing to do that, but what is the consequences of that? If we're not willing to put our feelings out there or to make ourselves open and available to others, how can we receive love? It's impossible to receive what we are not willing and able to actually give. So I think it's important to keep that in mind, that we have to be courageous and take steps in order to get what it is that we desire to have, not only in our life, but also to demonstrate that to the younger generation coming behind us. How would they be willing and able to take steps and risks and to be vulnerable and to put our feelings out there and to share with others if they don't see us doing it first and foremost? So this was inspiring, it was empowering, it was educational. It just gave those of you some perspective on equality and sharing and fairness, that we have to overcome the fear that's oftentimes associated with that. Having that feeling is okay, but allowing that to hold our happiness hostage is not okay. Peace.